Hello, and welcome again to our Windows 7 Beginner to Advanced video training series. Our today lesson is about keyboard shortcut keys. You can work on computers more efficiently and faster, using the combination of mouse and keyboard shortcuts. If you are always using computer mouse to complete a task, then it could be a lot of time consuming. For instance, to save a document, you have to click on File menu, then Save command. Then imagine, in a working day, you are creating 10 documents, and saving each document, with an interval of 5 minutes, and it took you 4 hours to complete all the documents. Then an approximate of 48 times, you used the Save command, and an average 96 times, you clicked your left mouse button. Think of other commands, which you have to repeatedly use in all of your documents, and you have to move your hand from keyboard to mouse, again and again. This ultimately slows down your speed. There are 2 common methods to use many keyboard shortcuts to format your document. The first one is to type your text, and then apply shortcut after selecting the text. The second method is to press shortcut before you type. For instance, I type hello, and after selecting the text, I can press Ctrl B to make the text bold. Or, I can press Ctrl B before I type the text. The first method takes a bit more time, because you have to select the text to apply the formatting. Whereas in the second method, you don't need to select anything. So, choice is yours, either you want to format the text before or after. Let's learn how easily you can accomplish your routine tasks using keyboard shortcuts, and how it saves your time. Take a pen and paper to note down all the shortcuts. To make your text bold, press Ctrl B from your keyboard. Do note down that, as I am using the second method, I am also turning it off by pressing Ctrl B again. Again. To make your text italic, use Ctrl I. To underline text, use Ctrl U. Don't forget to press Ctrl U again to turn underline off, else it will move along with your cursor. To align your text in the center of the page, press Ctrl E. To align your text to the right side of the page, use Ctrl R. To align your text back to the left side of the page, use Ctrl L. To justify a paragraph, either select the paragraph, or move your cursor in front, or in between the paragraph, and the press Ctrl J key. As discussed earlier, you can easily save your document by press Ctrl S key. Press Ctrl S, and Wordpad will then immediately ask you for a file name, if you are saving your document for the first time. Type a name for your document. Now, you don't need to press Save button with your mouse. You can see that the Save button is already selected with blue border around it. So, if you will press Enter key, then Save button will get pressed. You can also move around in a dialog box, using Tab key from your keyboard. Press Enter to save your document. Now, you can press Ctrl S with a 2 or 5 minutes interval to save your document instantly. Press Ctrl N to open a new document. To open any of your previously saved documents, press Ctrl O. Type the name of your document, and press Enter key. As I told you before that, you need to select the text, if you want to apply the formatting, after you have typed your text. You can quickly select text from your keyboard as well. What you need to do is to hold down the Shift key and the press arrow keys to select the text in desired location. There are many easy methods to quickly move around and select the text in your documents. In a pre-written documents, we mostly waste our time in moving around the text, and most of the people only use arrow keys to move their cursor. Let's first have a look at moving and scrolling shortcut keys. To move your cursor to the end of the line, press only the End key from your keyboard. To move your cursor to the beginning of the lines, press only the Home key. While moving around the words, don't just press the left or right arrow keys. Hold down the Control key and then press left or right arrow key, and you will see that now your cursor is jumping one word in a time, whereas you were previously moving character by character. To move to the end of the document, press Ctrl End key. And it does not matter how many pages are in your document, in a second your cursor will be at the end of the document. To move your cursor to the beginning of your document, press Ctrl Home key. To scroll the screen up or down, press only the page up or page down keys, respectively. The same scrolling shortcuts can also be used to select your text. Like, I want to select one word in a time, then hold down both Ctrl and Shift keys, and then press left or right arrow keys. To select an entire line, hold down Shift key, and then press up or down arrow keys. You can also select a line from your cursor position. Like, if I am in the middle of a line, and want to select the line from my cursor position to the end of the line, then hold down Shift key, and the press End key. With same way, you can select the line in reverse order, by holding down the Shift key and then press Home key. You can also select entire text below from the cursor position. Hold down the Shift and Control key, and the press End key. Or you can make a reverse selection by pressing Shift Control and then press Home key. To select the entire text from your keyboard, either you can press the Select All button with your mouse, or just press Ctrl from your keyboard. To delete a particular set of lines, select them by holding Shift key and then press up or down arrow key, and then press Delete key from your keyboard. You can also use many shortcut combinations at once. Like, if I want to make the selected text bold, italic, underline, and in the center of the page, then I will press Ctrl B, I, U, and then Ctrl E. If I want to delete the entire text below from my cursor position, then first I will select it using Shift Ctrl End key, and then I will press Delete key. Do remember that the Undo command gives you the power to revert your last changes. As you can see that I recently deleted a bunch of lines in my document. What if I have mistakenly deleted those lines? I have to type them again. If I don't know how to revert back, I can easily undo my last changes using the Undo command by pressing Ctrl Z key from the keyboard. In Wordpad, you can revert back to many steps which you have recently performed by repeatedly using Undo command. If sometimes you may have used undo more than what was required, then you can also redo them. It is like undoing the Undo command. Like, after typing some text, I mistakenly pressed Ctrl Z key, and Wordpad undone typed text. Notice, I didn't delete those lines, but already pressed undo, so again pressing undo button will not take them back. So now I can use the redo command. To do this, you need to press Ctrl Y key from your keyboard. Redo command is also available in the Quick Access toolbar. For your information, in previous version of Wordpad, like Wordpad in Windows XP, there was no redo command available in any menu. The only way to use redo was to press Ctrl Y key from the keyboard. To run the find command from keyboard, press Ctrl F key. Type the text you want to find, and then press Enter key. To close or cancel any dialog box, you can press Escape key from the keyboard, and you don't need to press Cancel button using your mouse. To use the Replace command, press Ctrl H key. Type the text in Find What box, and then use Tab key to move forward to replace with. If you want to make a check mark on any option, then first press Tab key to move that option, and then press Space key from the keyboard to check or uncheck an item. Tab key is widely used to move around options and buttons in a dialog boxes. To cut the selected text, press Ctrl X key from keyboard. Move your cursor to the desired location, and the use Ctrl V to paste the contents. To copy the selected text, press Ctrl C, and then move your cursor to the desired location, and press Ctrl V to paste the contents. Microsoft has made major changes in the shortcut keys section for WordPad. Now, you can access any WordPad command from your keyboard, without even touching your mouse. First you need to access the menu, for which you need to access a command. Press the Alt key once from your keyboard. Then you will see an alphabet in front of every menu, corresponding to its name. Like for File menu, F, for Home tab, H, and for View tab, V key. You can also see 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers for quick access toolbar commands. Now, if I press F, then it will open the File menu. We also have a corresponding letter in front of every command of File menu. You can also see that the same letters are also being underlined in every command name. So, if I want to open Page Setup, then I have to press G letter from the keyboard. To cancel Page Setup, I press Escape key. Once you remember those combinations, you can easily access any command from your keyboard. Like pressing Alt, F, R, and then V keys, will give you the print preview command. You can also access any button from Home or View tab, using your keyboard. Press Alt H from your keyboard, and then you will see corresponding letters for every command available in Home tab. Like, if I want to access paragraph settings, then I can further press PG to access this command. So when you memorize and combine those shortcuts, you can easily access any command, without a need of computer mouse. You can also access the top WordPad menu button, that I had described in my first WordPad lesson. To access this button, you need to press Alt and Space key at once. Instead of using arrow keys to access commands, you can further press the underlined key to access that particular command. Like, if I want to minimize WordPad, then I can press N. You don't need to click on the taskbar button of WordPad to restore it again. As described in previous chapters, you can access any application from your taskbar, using Alt-Tab key, or Windows Tab key. WordPad also gives you information about some shortcut keys, when you move your mouse over them. To close any open application, you can press Alt F4 key from your keyboard. This combination is widely applicable to almost all the applications available in Windows. In Windows 7, you can also open Start menu, using keyboard. Press Window key alone from your keyboard, and this will open up Start menu. Now, either you can type the name of the program in search box, or move your position using arrow keys, and press Enter to access. Do remember that these shortcut keys mostly work in almost all the Office applications. So, once you master them, you will notice a boost in your work performance, and people around you will really get surprised when you will be doing the same tasks from keyboard, for which they always use mouse. Here, I search for Notepad, and as it opens in restore size, I can press Alt space, and then X key to maximize the window. As I told you, you can notice the same shortcut keys for the same commands in Notepad as well. So finally, let's see how to print a document, and what you need to consider before you print your document. It is advisable to see the print preview of your document, before you actually print your document. When you are satisfied with your settings, then click on File menu, and move your mouse pointer over the Print command. If you click on Quick Print command, then Wordpad will immediately send your entire document for printing to your default printer, without asking for any confirmation. You can also see a print icon in your notification area. If your printer is offline or turned off, then you will see a notification message. These notifications could differ according to printer model. However, you can cancel the print command by clicking on the Print Q button. Then select the document from the list and press Delete button. If you want to be more specific while printing your document, then you can click on the Print button under Print submenu. You can also press Ctrl P to access the print command. Wordpad is also mentioning about this command in the text below that you can choose the printer, number of copies, and other printing options through this command. Let's see what we have in this dialog box. The first option in this dialog box is to select a printer. If you have more than one printer installed on your system, then you can select an appropriate printer on which you want to send your document for printing. Then it is displaying you the status of the printer, that either it is online or offline. You can also make a check mark on Print to File if you want to save the printing command as another document instead of printing it to the printer. It is not necessary until for any specific reasons, because you already have a saved copy of your document. By clicking on Preferences button, you can configure many more options of printing that your printer support. We will discuss about them in our next chapters, but for now, let's skip them. The most important part while printing a document is page range. Here you can specify that either you want to print all the pages, or selected number of pages. By default, all option is selected, so if I press the Print button, then it will print all the pages of my document. If I want to print particular pages, then I can specify the numbers by clicking on Pages Radio button, and then specify the page numbers in the page number box. For instance, if you want to print from first page to third page, then you can specify this by typing 1-3, as shown in the example below. You can also specify the number of copies you want to have for your document. As you can see that, if the number of copies is set to 1, then collate option is disabled. As you increase the number of copies to 2, collate option get activated. So what collate actually means? For instance, if you have a document consisting of 10 pages, and you want to have 5 copies of all the 10 pages. If you do not make a check mark on collate option, Wordpad will then print like 5 copies of first page, then 5 copies of second page, and so on until it finished printing all the 10 pages with 5 copies each. It could be hassle for you to align the pages after the printing. If you make a check mark on collate option before you print 5 copies of a 10 pages file, then Wordpad will print like first page, then second page, and so on. Then it will repeat the same process for second, third, fourth and fifth copy of all the pages. This way, you will have arranged copies of printouts in your printer tray. The Save As command is used to create a copy of your current document within from Wordpad. You can also specify a different file type in Save As dialog box. The same file types are also available in Save As submenu. We will discuss about them in our further chapters. However, you can easily make a copy of your current document by clicking on Save As, and then typing a new name. With this way, you can quickly make changes in new document without disturbing your original document. You can even attach and send your current document as an attachment with email. But unfortunately, there is no email client gets pre-installed with Windows 7. Whereas, Outlook Express gets pre-installed with Windows XP. However, you can install your favorite email clients later, to send your documents directly as an email. We will learn about this option in our Windows Mail chapter. The About Wordpad dialog box gives you information about the version of Wordpad you currently have on your system. This option is available in almost all the programs, like I open Notepad, and then click on Help menu, About Notepad. The last command in our final chapter for Wordpad is Page Orientation. You have two options here, Portrait and Landscape. Portrait is the default selection for all of your new documents. As I choose Landscape, the first thing you will notice is that the margins are shuffling. In the preview pane, you can also notice that the width of page has increased, and length has decreased. Landscape orientation is used when you need more width on your page than height. When you change the orientation from portrait to landscape, the width of your page changed to height, and height changed to width. So, if you are using letter-sized page, then changing the page orientation to landscape will rotate your page on screen. And your page width will increase to 11 inches, and height will be 8½ inches. Sometimes, you need to enter more text or items in a single line. So, you can rotate your page using landscape, and can have more space horizontally. So, it was a complete overview of Wordpad and all it commands. It took around 6 episodes of total 90 minutes, to complete the full overview of Wordpad. But if you do a lot of practice and memorize the commands, then you will also be able to use the same commands in other word processing software, like the latest version of Microsoft Word 2013. So in my opinion, do as much practice as you can. We will soon be publishing our next video of Windows 7 Tutorial Series. Till then, goodbye, and have a nice day.